God, I really hate listening to fucking dumb Christians, man. They are just a fucking plague. They are a plague. And I am super frustrated about the way support's fallen off. Yeah, there should be an army of people behind us. But again, people are fucking morons. There are people who be like, I'm not going to support you because you don't believe in Jesus like I do. Perfect, fucking moron. And then the Christians get so, what do you mean? So you don't believe in God? No, I don't believe in your fucking Jesus story, you fucking morons. Also, I think going forward, I'm going to stop promoting Patreon, and I'm going to set up on a new platform, because it's very obvious to me that Patreon is sabotaging. Again, like, don't call back in and argue something to me. It's just going to make me think that you're even more of a dunce.
That's why I resign all my support for the so-called Gematria truth community. I don't get the lavish luxury of scamming people 24/7.
Losers are crying about what we're doing here and trying to talk shit because they're simply fucking losers. And if you're listening to those people, you might be a fucking loser. Todd's a fucking loser. I wish we were covering Todd's obituary. And some people do deserve to just burn up and perish in an instant because they're fucking losers. I don't have to be there for 9/11 in New York. I live on the other side of the country. You know, my support dried up this past year, so the most dedicated person to making a video about me is a troll who's been watching every video since 2015 and only takes the sound bites of things that he can use to try and make me look bad. Imagine if we had somebody out there in the world doing that, just taking all the clips of all the things we've been right about and was that active and trying to build a channel. Just that's what's wrong with the world. Like, people are more motivated by hate and jealousy and envy than they are like doing the right things. Yeah, that guy is a true piece of trash, but he's also just the most motivated person to watch all of my videos and turn them into another video.
Like this one.
Welcome back, True Seeker. I do definitely want to be down there for Kobe Bryant Day. And again, I want to hit all the cities in California along the way like we did last time. But I'm honestly not sure it's going to happen because I am going to stick to my guns about what I said. There has to be more support for the work. There's no reason for the work to be declining. But yeah, the support has to get back up. Are any of you worthless losers in the chat pitching in $1 to... I would continue to go out and put my neck out there and try to bring people together if I had everybody drop off the Patreon next month. We're still doing New York 9/11. I don't just want it to end at Kobe Bryant Day. I'd like to head east from there, make it all the way across to Atlanta, and then head up north through all the cities, up to New York for 9/11. But it's not going to happen unless support gets back up. Sign up for Patreon, moron, and shut the fuck up. And I've said I'd like to see the mark back up to 5,000.
That's not going to happen.
Which is a fraction of what we had before we went down to Oklahoma City, so it should be attainable.
I doubt it.
All right, so again, the Patreon, it's gone from more than 6,500 before we went to Oklahoma City. It's dropped all the way down to 3,500. It's about 3,600 right now. And again, if we can get to 5,000 by the end of the month, which I'm not holding my breath for, that'll ensure the California trip. If we can't get it by then, August 15th.
It's not going to happen.
What's up, Joey?
To the listeners, if you know about my calls, I talk about Cam Newton a lot. And Zach, today's Tony Bennett death is completely connected to Cam, and I'll prove it right now.
This ought to be good.
Tony Bennett equals 154. I left my heart in San Francisco equals 154.
Right, we covered this morning. He died on the 202nd day of the year in San Francisco's 202, which is the home of the Black Panthers, and we know with it, you know, how that's connected to Cam. But okay, I'm listening.
But guess how many days after Huey P. Newton's birthday it is? 154 days after Huey P.'s birthday. And today's 217. And guess how many days it's after Cam Newton's birthday? 71 days after Cam Newton's birthday. 71 date numerology.
The number of mentally retarded is increasing.
And of course, Cam won MVP in the 96th NFL season. Tony Bennett dead at age 96. Cameron Jarrell Newton equals 96.
And a lot of you guys are listening to people who are nutcases.
The song, I Left My Heart in San Francisco. Everybody remembers when Cam didn't die for the fumble. And not to mention Tony Bennett's birthday is 3/8, Panthers 38. But Cam's the one whose heart was broken when he left San Francisco. Because, of course, that was the day or where he lost the Super Bowl.
The wackest decode in the history of the world, that person might have a mental illness.
I mean, this shit is undeniable.
You guys, by the way, I find that to be one of the funniest lines I've ever heard.
Shout out to Itachi, Sosa decodes now. Always putting out great work. This is a smart people community. It's like, it's simple. Like, that's what it is. It's a smart person community.
Not with you in it.
This community doesn't deserve like 1 ounce of ire towards it. And like you always said, the only people that are dissing this community and this work are either fucking retards or agents.
Ironic.
I'm not just making everything connect to Cam.
Sure seems that way.
Like, I mean, unless it's a coincidence that it's 154 days after Huey P's birthday, the guy that wrote this song about San Francisco died, and his name's 154. Just covered it all already. Just undeniable.
Seriously, look in the mirror and see if you can say that out loud without laughing at yourself.
Gonna start pounding pavement soon.
God help us.
You can always count on a Cam Newton connection with Joey. He just loves Cam Newton.
He's mentally ill.
But it is also expensive. Travel, wear and tear on car, oil changes, tires. Even cheap hotels aren't cheap anymore. So traveling is an expensive thing. It takes resources. And again, if we had enough people here pledging $1 a month, it would be easy. We used to. A lot of people's $1 a month has fallen off. You worthless losers can't chip in $1.
Yeah, well, whenever I see that stuff, whenever I see like I gotta call out Blue Eyes Hair, Janet. She's like, oh, I just watched Sports Gematria's video. No wonder Zach's support is falling off. And I'm just like, so you're part of these, I'm not even saying like support, but just like the people still giving these trolls. And you could argue that I'm doing that right now, but no, am I watching their video and telling you what they said? Nope. I'm telling you, you need to not do that. Besides Zach, I'm the most trolled.
Oh, that's not trolls and haters. That's the people who are giving you the facts, and you don't like hearing it.
I gotta call it this piece of shit, Cable X. I only see this guy around like trolls. I only see him like just hopping in trolls things and you know, just one of these fucking losers who came and made Gematria look like dog shit.
Ironic.
Let me show you this riddle. 144th day of the year. Let's write out skull and bones. Skull and bones. 144.
You're the same guy writing skull and bones, right?
Exactly.
You are a disgrace to this community.
Yeah, as I was saying earlier, you let that shit just subside, resonate, build up, it makes the fucking community awful. Look at Asif, you know? Remember Reese called in saying that Asif was staging a coup with other people and Zach rushed it off. He's like, I don't like drama. Next thing you know, all these people are gone. Zach's like, I don't know how all the support's fallen off. It's like, this person was calling into you, telling you they're staging a coup.
I mean, come on. This guy would believe anything.
And shout out to Dana who sent me this t-shirt for my birthday. Really appreciate it, Dana. Facts over feelings.
Well, that's tacky.
I don't got time for Jesus people's feelings anymore. Your religion's bullshit. It's the biggest problem on earth.
Here we go.
What do you mean you don't like Jesus? If I don't believe in Jesus, I won't go to the eternal afterlife. And just think about how dumb it is when it comes out of their mouth. So it's like, oh, so your whole reason to believe in that bullshit-ass story, which makes no fucking sense at all, is so you can have the eternal afterlife. So it's really all about you. Can you imagine the eternal afterlife with all these Jesus freaks? Shoot me now, and don't send me there. God, I really hate listening to fucking dumb Christians, man. They are just a fucking plague. They are a plague. This is why I hate fucking Christians. I fucking do, man. They're all fucking scumbags. All of them. They're fucking retarded and then acting like they're great because they believe in some bullshit, man. I'm fucking sick of religious people. Wipe them off the fucking face of the earth. God, they are a plague, man. Ugh. 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 God, it just it's like I said, it's the Special Olympics of spirituality. Wow. Yeah, that was God's master plan. Sacrifice his son, have his son murdered. Jesus, the Son of God, who could only appear 2,000 years ago, was sacrificed on the cross so you could be a sinner. And if you just believe in that, you'll get the eternal afterlife. I mean, that doesn't sound like the ultimate load of bullshit. That makes fucking Santa Claus sound like the most legitimate story there ever was, okay? Santa Claus sounds 10 million times more legitimate. What kind of stupid fucking plan is that? They should make a new Bible with God riding on a short bus. Wow. Even if we don't hit the milestones that I said need to be hit to go down to California for Kobe Bryant Day, I'm probably still going to do it anyway because I feel like it needs to be done. And I am super frustrated about the way support's fallen off. It should just be building after what we've done the last, several trips across the nation all over the place. And, yeah, there should be an army of people behind us. But, again, people are fucking morons. There are people who be like, I'm not going to support you because you don't believe in Jesus like I do. Perfect, fucking moron. Yeah, I had a conversation with Jesus last night. Did ya? Are you sure you're not fucking insane? Are you sure that religion hasn't turned people into a bunch of schizophrenics? You didn't have any fucking conversation with Jesus because nobody's ever talked to Jesus. Did you talk to Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny? All of this shit is on the same level. Okay? And then the Christians get so, what do you mean? So you don't believe in God? No, I don't believe in your fucking Jesus story, you fucking morons. I do think there's a creator. There's obviously a spiritual level. And I don't think it has to do with like cussing and bad language and having sex outside of marriage. I think it's about being an honest person.
Well, you're fucked then.
To me, the Christian belief states that God is incompetent and is a murderous maniac that would sacrifice his son for your sins. I mean, where does that make any sense? Why is that the best God can do? Why is that the story that you should believe in? It's just, I feel like what Christianity's done, and I made the comment yesterday that probably offended a lot of people. I said, I feel like the Christian belief of what God is and what you have to believe in is like God on a short bus. And I stand by that remark because to me it just sounds so ridiculous. The story I need to believe in is that God sent a son to earth to have sacrificed so that we can be sinners. I mean, that just sounds like the biggest load of nonsensical BS. That story doesn't help me out in any way as a person. Support dropped quite a bit yesterday, so I know there are people who came on and supported, and they dropped out yesterday after yesterday's rant, but I mean, that's part of the problem too. Those people are more invested in mythical men in the clouds than the person who's actually here doing the work. But I did notice that, yesterday I went on the rant against Christianity, and the support for the work went down even further. It's down below where it was before my birthday. So, heading the wrong direction.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
Just we've been talking about Jesus. They say, Jesus, he disappears at age 12, and then his story reemerges at age 30. Funny enough, I was 30 years old when I discovered Gematria. You could be looking at the face of Jesus Christ. Because he didn't believe in Jesus. Oh, okay. Well, maybe the reason he didn't believe in Jesus is because he did some actual research and realized that, Jesus was a steaming load of shit. Even if we don't hit the milestones that I said need to be hit to go down to California for Kobe Bryant Day, I'm probably still going to do it anyway. And also thinking twice about doing Kobe Bryant Day and maybe postponing the Kobe Bryant, pass out the book, get back together in California and LA trip until the start of the NBA season. But yeah, somebody pointed out, Kobe Bryant Day is on a Thursday and it'll be hot.
Excuses.
And not many people, it's true, when I do things on the weekday, not many people come out, even if it is the anniversary of something big. Weekends are always better. And again, if we can get resources back up, we can do it, even bigger.
Again with the money?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Resources just, I don't know where everybody went. There used to be a lot of loyal people pledging $1 a month, and they've just vanished, so.
Yeah, I just need $1. Give me $1. For how long, man? How long do you need $1 for?
Yeah, if you guys want to help me out, if you guys can pledge $1 on Patreon before today expires.
Fuck these losers begging for $1 nonstop.
Sweet lady just sits back and says, "See, Zach, your support just goes down every month now. Ever since you've been going out, the support just goes down every month." And that's pretty much been a consecutive pattern since we went out to Oklahoma City April of last year. And that consecutive pattern's going to continue again this month. Yeah, again, support is below. It's cut more than half since we traveled out to Oklahoma City last year.
Oh, poor baby.
So, something's definitely up. It doesn't make sense how there's always a huge chunk of people that drop off at the first of every month. I mean, I know that big tech's doing something to sabotage what we got going here, but the only way to counter it is for more people to step up and help out. How about sign up, you fucking bum? Half the support is here that was here.
Everything is proceeding as I have foreseen.
Also, I think going forward, I'm going to stop promoting Patreon, and I'm going to set up on a new platform, because it's very obvious to me that Patreon is sabotaging. It's not so much people are abandoning it, it's Patreon that's doing the sabotaging.
What the fuck? This guy.
Yesterday, on the first of the month, there's always a huge drop-off on the first of the month. And I've always wondered what's up with that, because a lot of people say that they didn't cancel and they had the recurring, but they got dropped anyway. That's been going on for years. But yesterday was the biggest drop-off ever on the first of the month.
Hallelujah.
And that doesn't make any sense because the subscriber count is way down. So just mathematically, it wouldn't make sense for there to be the biggest drop-off ever. So it shows me that it is it's a planned destruction what Patreon's doing.
Sure, Dan.
Yeah, I'll find another platform if you guys want to support the work. I mean, you can still continue to make sure you're signed up on Patreon if you want to support there. But, yeah, it's very obvious that the reason things are way down is, especially since I started going out and bringing people together across the nation, is because of the platform.
Right.
But, yeah, we are going to have to get support back up to do any more big cross-country trips because that stuff's expensive, so.
For this, and this is what it's become.
I realize that Kobe Bryant Day, it is in the middle of the week, and it's going to be hot. Yeah, so anyhow, Kobe Bryant Day, not going to be the right day of the week because probably too hot. It's the middle of the week.
Excuses.
Again, also part of what I want to do in the near future on one of these short books is, once I'm done with the Kobe one, I want to just try and give ourselves a schedule, like 1 month. 1 month to write a book as a group. And it'll be like, I'll do it on a live stream. We'll go chapter by chapter. We'll say, today we're going to finish this short chapter on this. I'll write in real time. Again, short book, so we can do this as a group. But just write a chapter and then go through the chat and say, what do you guys think? Is this right? Am I missing something? What else can be put in? Because there's people in this community who always remember things or who know something that I don't know. But if we can make that a working model, again, it's like a group session of producing short books. Shout out to Itachi. Itachi found the work through Kobe Bryant, and he has become part of the community and tried to share, his knowledge in the best way he can on his YouTube channel. And maybe he made some mistakes along the way in terms of what he presented.
When he's doing his live streams, he's actually getting real busy in the background. So look what he's doing, right? Tony Montana.
What we are doing is we're crushing up this puro rock.
Have any talents worth recording? I'm a YouTuber. You know, I'm trying to record people who have talents worth talking about and everything. And
no, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. You need $1. I mean, just $1.
Just $1. We're usually at. You know, next time I'm here, I could give you $1, but tonight I don't have one.
All right, man. I ain't gonna worry about it, man.
I see. Yeah, you have a good night, man. Take care. Learn the script. Learn Gematria. You won't be begging for $1 like some broke-ass clown. Fuck these losers begging for $1 nonstop.
What a fucking douchebag. Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, for doing the work, there's been consequences in his life as well. Yeah, Itachi recently let me know that, you know, just because there's so many pressures on his personal life from him doing this, he just needs to take a break. And maybe he needs to walk. He's never going to walk away from the knowledge. He explained to me he'll always be grateful for the knowledge, but in terms of presenting it, maybe he just can't do it anymore because it's creating too much strain.
Is that all it takes to shake you? Go fucking teach yoga, you fucking pussy.
I understand why people have those fears, but realize at the same time, if more people were being as brave as, say, Jesse or Itachi or, you know, Truth Does Not Exist, who just went out and pounded pavement on his corner, or our friend Evan down in Texas who went to the Ranger Stadium, or all the other people over the years who've tried to get out there. Bart in Chicago, he brought a group together.
Fuck you, Zachary K. Hubbard, you motherfucker. Yes, you guys might hate me for doing that, for saying that, but Zach, we are here in your community that you created. We're here promoting your fucking work, your books, and you fucking call in and shit on the people that support you? Fuck you, Zachary K. Hubbard.
Again, I mean, in almost every story that we know, from childhood to something you might watch, you know, as soon as tonight, well, I was going to say in a theater, on a streaming service, there might be a story about how somebody had to sacrifice something or do something in their own life that was painful to overcome some hurdle or make something right for a greater purpose. It really is like that.
Oh, really? Flashback.
To me, the Christian belief states that God is incompetent and is a murderous maniac that would sacrifice his son for your sins. I mean, where does that make any sense? There might be a story about how somebody had to sacrifice something or do something in their own life that was painful to overcome some hurdle or make something right for a greater purpose. It really is like that. The other thing is, even though support just continues to go way down, I've been whining about how support's going way down. I realize the more I whine, I think the more it makes them realize that, yeah, I'm just not going to whine or complain about it. And if the support goes down to zero, the reality is I still do have enough money to put gas in the car and drive down to LA. And just like I did last week, I can sleep in the car all week.
Oh, brother.
Me, like, you know, trying to, like, financially, like, you know, gain more financially, you know, by decoding, I don't see anything wrong with that, you know?
I don't either. To win the game, you have to play the game.
That's funny, considering he himself doesn't play the game.
And again, there's been a lot of people who've improved their life position. Like the guy in the chat, he's going on, he's saying, oh, no, what I meant is we need to stop gambling with the knowledge, not decoding sports. Okay, so they clarified their point. Again, nobody has to gamble. And this person saying, I'm teaching people to gamble. Again, I don't really encourage people to gamble.
I'm good at lying.
It's more that I encourage people to be smart with their money.
Bullshit excuse.
There's multiple people who are able to quit their day job and survive off this knowledge.
Yeah, you.
And there are other stories in the community, people who say that they've never been able to use the knowledge to win. But yeah, fair words. Fair words. But again, to me, that's on them. I disagree with all the people that say we need to stop doing that. We live in a world where money controls people.
Yeah, you especially.
That's another thing that gets more people interested. Wait a minute, with this knowledge, I can make money off. I can take advantage of the stock market. I can take advantage of sports. I can take advantage of betting on elections.
The headline this morning, running out of time, talking about how Donald Trump is on his way to losing this presidential election, something I've been telling people for more than a year was going to happen.
Donald Trump is running as the stooge to make Hillary Clinton passable, a candidate that no one really cares for. But when she's elected president, what many people will say is, well, at least it's not Donald Trump. 97
These are all things that we've proven. Like, this is bullshit, man. The most dedicated person to making a video about me is a troll who's been watching every video since 2015 and only takes the sound bites of things that he can use to try and make me look bad. Imagine if we had somebody out there in the world doing that, just taking all the clips of all the things we've been right about and was that active and trying to build a channel. Just that's what's wrong with the world. Like, people are more motivated by hate and jealousy and envy than they are like doing the right things.
Oh, what, you gonna cry? No? No, go ahead, cry. Let me see you. Let me see you cry.
Yeah, that guy is a true piece of trash, but he's also just the most motivated person to watch all of my videos and turn them into another video. I've been whining about how support's going way down. I realize the more I whine, I think the more it makes them realize that, yeah, I'm just not going to whine or complain about it. Imagine if we had 30 million people watching. We'd raise enough money to have a full team of 100 full-time employees doing it on a higher level. That's what we need, you guys. It should be happening. It should be happening. There should be that kind of funding for this work.
Can't you stop talking about money? It's boring, Tony.
Go on a book tour? Well, I'd love to do that, man, but you know, I don't have a publisher, and it's very expensive to travel. So, again, if we can get the support back up, you know, if we had way better funding, print a ton of books, we could just go out and do our own book tour. Get the funding back up so we can do a nationwide book tour.
Money, 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 money. That's all I ever hear in this house.
So, again, this is kind of what I'm envisioning. Cards with questions. For each correct question answered, points. And you could play X amount of cards, first team to X amount of points. Or if you want to play the whole deck, I guess just who has the most points at the end.
Sounds pretty lame.
Imagine that, like, we were playing this card game amongst ourselves, right? To find out who's the best decoder. Or who's paying the most attention. Again, what are 3 stories that all had a similar parallel that followed the same number within the last month, or could be the last 6 months, or the last year, or 5 things that happened within the last, I mean, and people will remember, they'll be like, oh yeah, remember these, all 5 of these celebrities died in connection to this number, etc. So, kind of what I'm envisioning for the game.
That's the lamest idea I have ever heard.
Where there's a riddle that has to be understood. You know, the card could be as simple as, what is the connection between Tupac and Caesar Borgia? You know, that's a card. And if you can answer that, first question, that Tupac died on Caesar Borgia's birthday, that's a point.
Pretty lame, huh?
What is the connection between Caesar Borgia and Tupac's rap alias Machiavelli? If you can answer that question, that Machiavelli wrote The Prince based on Caesar Borgia. 2 points.
It sounds boring. To me, you know. But...
What is the connection with Tupac and Jesus? If you know it's the Machiavelli album, that's a point.
Yeah, that sounds perfectly terrible.
Yeah, in the beginning of the thing, for somebody who opened up was new to Gematria, you just quickly explained that Gematria is the practice of coding numbers into words, so everyone who's playing the game is familiar with that. What is the Gematria connection? Maybe some cards are more challenging than that. What is the Gematria connection with Tory Lanez being sentenced to prison on August 8th after initially being arrested 88 days after the shooting of Megan Thee Stallion in light of his name? There are 2 correct answers.
That sounds awful.
Maybe there's a timer with the game for some of the questions. Maybe some of the cards have a timer on them and you get a minute to try and figure out what it is. Maybe you can even use your phones. Because imagine if you had the time to look at it, you're like, what's the connection? What's the gematria of his birth name, Daystar? Oh, what's Daystar Peterson? I don't know, but we can talk more about it. I'm trying to put out all the thoughts out there so you guys can give me the feedback on, yeah, that's a good idea. No, maybe not that.
It's a dumb idea.
You can always see the trolls in the chat. The troll says, don't do a boring Gematria game. Yeah, fair words. Fair words. That just gives me more encouragement to do it. I think a game is a way to meet people where they're at. Well, I don't have time to take calls on this right now. I just want to get it out there. And again, like I said, I'll take calls tomorrow on TFR. So again, that was also just said. So listening, like if I'm getting feedback back, I want feedback from people who are actually listening to what's said. So right now, what you're showing me in your comments is you didn't really listen to what I said. So I don't know if I really want your feedback right now. You got to listen to everything that was said and then give feedback on what was actually said.
This guy is the asshole of the fucking year.
Sooner than later, we can make the Gematria card deck into a reality.
I'd buy that for $1.
Maybe I'll just do the game myself and not get feedback from people. Are we going to connect it to Cam Newton?
Not today.
Oh, God, he's back.
Okay.
But we're going to connect it to the NFL.
Here, I just want to make a point before you even go any further. I on my birthday, you called in connecting Tony Bennett's death to Cam Newton. I'm just going to let you know, I really didn't appreciate that call. I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to be direct with you today. If somebody is new to this work and they're learning about Tony Bennett's death, the whole Cam Newton thing is too big of a logical jump, and you have to get out and talk on the streets with this knowledge to people. You'll realize when you jump to things like that, you lose people, and they think like, oh, now you can connect anything. Out of all the people to connect in the world, Cam Newton. So again, the reason I'm telling you that is because you do try to connect almost everything to Cam Newton, and it's actually not good for Gematria. You might be right in some regards, but it's too much about Cam Newton all the time. So that's why it was sort of a joke, but also sort of a concern that we were going to call in and connect this to Cam Newton.
Yeah, I'm happy you brought that to my attention. But just that his biggest song was I Left My Heart in San Francisco.
Right. So that's why it's easy to explain that he died on the 202nd day of the year connecting with San Francisco. And really, that's where you meet people at. You start connecting to Cam Newton, they'll be like, wait a minute, you can probably connect this to anyone. Can you connect this to anything? Yeah, fair words. Fair words.
I mean, but that's kind of what it is, because it's all connected. Like, people have to get that through their head. That, you can't just fucking say that. I mean, people are just idiots.
Ironic.
Because remember what your connection was? You said Cam Newton left his heart in San Francisco when he lost the Super Bowl. Well, that's assuming that Cam Newton gave a shit about losing the scripted Super Bowl when he knows he plays in a rigged league. So, I don't feel like that's a good way to... Again, there's a lot of people who've come into the work in recent years, including yourself, who want to connect everything back to one thing. So many people want to connect everything back to Kobe Bryant now. It's like, okay, it's not they didn't do that today because of Kobe Bryant. We are coming up on one of the best lines I've ever heard in all of the world of comedy. Here we go.
I'll get vindicated. I'll get vindicated when Cam's in Super Bowl 58. And that's the only reason why I've been connecting everything, because he's going to be, just watch, in the future, he's going to be a big story again, and all of this would connect, like I'm foreshadowing something here with this. I'm not calling in just to bring it up. Like, I'm pretty much betting that in the future, there's going to be a huge story involving Cam, and I'm going to say, look, I've connected Tony Bennett, this, and that, and it's all been connected.
Again, you just listen to it. It's like mental illness.
We're going to see. We haven't...
Okay, all right. Anyway, man, if that happens, great. But again, remember, you're here. I got to be fair about the subject. A couple of years ago, you were completely convinced the Panthers were going to come back from whatever their record was, 3-7. You said you'd be shocked if they didn't win the Super Bowl. And everybody was like, is this guy out of his mind? They're not even going to make the playoffs this year. And they didn't. So that's what I mean. I mean, it's just too much Cam Newton all the time. It almost feels like a bad joke.
It was funny, though.
There are a lot of people who've come into this work in the post-Kobe time, and they've learned to decode, but just the depth of their understanding is Kobe Bryant. So everything goes back to Kobe. For him, everything goes back to Cam Newton.
Yeah, he's a fucking moron.
And again, his whole goal is to get people to not support me.
That's why I resign all my support for the so-called Gematria truth community.
Here we go.
I am not a Gematria card salesperson. Sorry. That shit just sounds so funny. I was going to tell that to the guy Truth Vibration podcast he was streaming, like crying about like not working and all this shit, is like,
I'm pretty much all out of money again, and I don't have enough to pay for this rental because soon I'm not gonna have a car. I'll just be sitting at home all day. Again, no job again, but this time with no car. I don't really see me doing this podcast. It hasn't been successful. I'm not making an income off of it.
It's for this, and this is what it's become.
And I have to. I need to make money.
you should, I was gonna say, like, you should become a fucking, a Gematria playing card salesman. Probably get a lot of a lot of business. You gotta come up with some way to scam people 24/7 online, because that's the way to go, really. Are the cards really only $1? They're probably negative at $1. You'd have to pay me $1 to get them at this point. You'd have to pay me like $1,000 to sit down and play that shit. Like, what the fuck is this? Who fucking cares about that? There's already trivia games and fucking all kinds of stupid games.
Yeah, fair words. Fair words.
Could be like a job. Now hiring Gematria card salesman. Get you out on the corner, selling them, see how many, you got a bag full, if you can sell all of them. These people are really sensitive, you know, in the cult. They like to like be all mad if you're like saying something opposingly.
Trust me, I know.
Especially when you tie it all in with like sports gambling and garbage. It's like, dude, that's especially not fucking doing anything.
The other person who came out and met up, they also went out to New York. But lately, they just keep uploading these videos just talking all this trash about what a cult the Gematria community is, and how dumb it is, and how we make people look crazy. And I'm like, okay. The reason I'm sharing this, you guys, is because it's just so disappointing. It's like, where are the people in the world that care? The people who came out that day to go around with me in California, I don't think they're really on my side.
Not anymore.
He's not about this community, man. I mean, you're not uploading these videos saying all this shit, and it's just, I'm just so sick of it, you guys. The people who it's obvious that this is a tactic to try and discourage people, to try and get people to like become part of some, you know, I'm out here putting myself out here, my name out here, how to contact me, how to get in touch with me. So many people who've made the greatest effort over the years have turned out to be people that obviously weren't ever about it, and it was more about just trying to mess with you. Yeah, it's just, God, it's just like, man, woo, if it isn't one thing, it's the next. And it's always some new whiny guy coming out of the woodwork. And it's like, what's your problem? That nothing's changing over here.
Exactly. That's the problem.
Maybe you're just not understanding the people out there. When Tony Bennett died, I connected his death to Cam Newton.
Oh, God, not this again.
And the comparison might seem out of the way on surface level, but I assure you it's not.
It is.
His famous song, his signature song, I Left My Heart in San Francisco. And of course, Cam Newton, he lost the Super Bowl in San Francisco. And of course, if you're talking to somebody who thinks sports are real, they would say, Cam, the night of the Super Bowl, he had his heart ripped out.
Here we go.
Okay, you've already done this call literally, and I told you that it wasn't a good call because it's still just like reaching, and it's not concrete. And okay, we're going to go and survey 100 Americans and go, do you agree with the statement that Cam Newton left his heart in San Francisco? I mean... okay, anyway, there's more people on. I'm going to let more people get in, but thanks as always, Joey. Take care. Okay, I mean, it's just not getting it, man. He likes to connect everything. Like, the mecca of his world is Cam Newton. So everything's Cam Newton. Cam Newton's the center of everything. Like, if you remember when he did a brainstorm idea, on his piece of paper, Cam Newton would be at the center, and then he figured out how to branch everything back to Cam Newton.
Plus, I think he's a little retarded.
Again, like, don't call back in and argue something to me. It's just going to make me think that you're even more of a dunce. Okay? God, it's nobody's convinced by that. Ugh. 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 Logic, you guys, common sense. Gotta be better. Let's go out to 484. What's up, 484? Are we trolling? Your recording is too low.
Razor blades in the bathtub. That's the solution for you.
I'll make sure you get your troll dollars tonight. Next time, turn up the volume louder. Oh, I like how they listen. Good listening skills. You know who can call into this show is Kuts1, because he's been ranting for days about how dumb it is that we decode sports. Cuts, call in and explain why you're doing these long, streams in some weird plastic mask talking about how all this stuff is stupid now. It's like, okay, didn't you fly out to New York to help us get out the word? Now it's all stupid? I mean, call in and explain yourself. But thank you to everyone who supports the Patreon. It's $5 a month. A lot of people take that $5 and take all the sports knowledge and make a whole lot more money than that each month. And I don't know why there's not more people doing that. I mean, really, that's why I say there should be millions of people on my Patreon. Imagine all that money had come to me. Me. There should be millions of people on there. There should be all kinds of buku money coming in. We should have an employee staff of 1,000 people. We should have all kinds of people getting their bankroll fatter. More people coming out, pounding payment. I'm doing everything I need to be doing over here to help change the world.
Bullshit. People don't believe that.
It's just the world isn't keeping up. The world's not helping out. The world's standing by, hands in the pockets, pulling out lint, excuses all day. And then you have all these sorry-ass motherfuckers in the world that can't even find $5 to sign up and learn. God.
There's some scummy ass shit going on with these people, because literally this fool's like, call into my channel and debate me about the sports thing. I'm like, dude, that sounds like some kind of like rat ass setup. Plus I'm at work. I actually have to work for a living. I don't get the lavish luxury of scamming people 24/7. Scamming people on the internet with Patreons and shill shit.
Yeah, fair words. Fair words. I've been whining about how support's going way down. I realize the more I whine, I think the more it makes them realize that, yeah, I'm just not going to whine or complain about it. See, I realize, you guys, because it's just been all downfall for financial support from this work. Ever since we went to Oklahoma City and then New York for 9/11 and the Buffalo thing in between, financial support has steadily gone down every single month since we did that. I get why it's been obvious why they've been trying to silence this so hard, but it's like in a new phase of silencing in the last 2 years ever since we've done this. So funds are way down. The financial support's getting cut way off. And even though the number has been cut in half, it's worse than that because who knows why. It's like it's a drought over here. Yeah, I just always see people leaving comments in the chat about if this really works, Zach would just be gambling all the time. Yeah, fair words. Fair words. False. You guys, all these dumb comments are just so dumb. They're just ignorant. I've always made sacrifices and felt that life was about more than money.
What the fuck? This guy.
That's why I've continued to teach this awesome knowledge for $5, and a lot of people have changed their life with it, and a lot of people have made good money.
Yeah, you.
Losers are crying about what we're doing here and trying to talk shit because they're simply fucking losers. And if you're listening to those people, you might be a fucking loser.
Right.
Yeah, he's in a squeaky ass fucking gay faggot voice. He's all like, yeah, I'm starting to think these people that were coming up with me out to big tech wasn't really on my side or something. Like maybe they were agents or something. Like, really? Did I really just fucking hear that shit? Like, those cards will be on clearance soon. Just wait until the price dips. Dude, that's the funniest shit ever. The Gematria card salesman.
Get yourself out of this spell. Stop doing what they want you to do. Pouring money, attention, energy into their things. People will call me a hypocrite because I have people gambling on the games. Yeah, fair words. Fair words. I don't have people putting a lot of emotional investment in it.
Bullshit.
I'm debating. I've always charged $5 a month for all the sports content, and I'm going to keep it at $5, but the thing I'm debating on is maybe for the live stream tier, maybe just make the price a little bit higher.
All right, fine. Fine. Here you go. Because this is what it's all about, right? Motherfucking cock-sucking money. Here.
But at $5, you'll still get all the notes, all the information. Just want the live stream, might charge a little bit more.
This piece of shit right here, he has an agenda. His agenda is to get very, 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 very rich. And he's going to do whatever it takes to accomplish that. So,
for me, the hardest thing these days is just finding the inspiration to decode past the surface, because it seems like when I look at the views, they're just going down over the years as we get better. And it says the average view duration's 1.5 minutes. So a lot of people have stepped up and helped make videos, but I noticed, like in other genres on YouTube, just things that get lots of views that YouTube doesn't block, there's lots of really talented video makers just making all kinds of videos on topics. And it's just like, we need somebody like that to come into the Gematria community that knows how to make a well-edited, more compact video, because there's so much information on the screen.
Unfortunately for him, he pushed all those people away.
So anyway, if there's somebody out there who can do it better, the world does need that.
Give me $1,000.
I would continue to go out and put my neck out there and try to bring people together if I had everybody drop off the Patreon next month. We're still doing New York 9/11. You guys, it's very probable, since funding got cut a ton for the movement, that I will not be in New York for 9/11 this year. Again, you're just making excuses. I'm hoping these books I'm about to finish will get the funds back up so we can get back out pounding pavement. And I would say, the only answer is myself and everyone around me is just too over-influenced by money. Guys like this, you guys, like, if I'm going to take away everyone's wrenches, if I see a troll just spamming away through another broadcast and not getting benched, you can just hear the troll is the guy who's just like saying all this stuff. Oh, looks like that. Oh, yeah. Just shut the fuck up, loser. If you guys see losers in the chat, just recognize, oh, that's a fucking loser. That's a troll. That's a fed. That's a government agent. Ban these people. That guy just talking all this shit in the chat, God, ban him. That's the point of a wrench. This is a guy who promotes censorship. Anybody listening to idiots like that, the reason there's a full-time fed audience and all the censorship is because the shit we're putting out is so potent and powerful. Everyone should know this. You shouldn't have some mopey bitch little sorry-ass attitude like that loser Todd who just got benched. This is the knowledge to see through the rigged game. Todd's saying you shouldn't use this to gamble on sports. How many people turned $5 into over 1,000 last month off any knowledge outside of Gematria? The answer is none. Happens a lot in this community. Obviously, I'm full of shit right now, but yeah, that's why there's all these people around just coming around just leaving these kind of stupid fucking comments all the time. Fuck off, feds. And it's too bad for all the sheep who fall for it. But yeah, mods, you need to use your wrenches and ban these pieces of shit. Otherwise, I'm just going to get rid of all the wrenches and just let the trolls take over the channel. So hopefully in that regard, nobody even pays attention to the spam chat that's all troll infested, and they just turn it off and focus on the message in the video. Even though these people are evil and sick, I don't really want to wish death on anybody. I don't think that's good karma. Todd's a fucking loser. I wish we were covering Todd's obituary. Wouldn't wish death on anybody, but don't listen to anybody who has anything sideways to say about me or this work. You know that person's a fucking loser. Definitively end of discussion.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
So you got all these morons going like, oh, I just want to watch the game. And for all the people with that attitude, that's why what they did to Maui, in a way, that is going to happen in a lot more places because of what's going on in this world and the agendas. And some people do deserve to just burn up and perish in an instant because they're fucking losers. And I know that my whole life I've been a good Samaritan. I've always looked out for other people before I looked out for myself. A lot of people know that about me. Fucking losers who sit around here and probably get $10 an hour to troll 24/7, 365. Fuck your life, your $10 an hour troll wage, because you can't do anything better than be a complete jackass and fuck with something that doesn't deserve to be fucked with. The only people who do that are worthless pieces of shit.
Like yourself.
If people aren't going to come back and support the work, then the movement's going to be, all the more regressed because there's not enough people rising to the plate. For all you guys who can't get behind what I'm doing, you're part of the problem. You're the reason this shit keeps happening. Stop calling in about other people's whack-ass YouTube channels. I don't need any other YouTube channels. Nobody else cracked the code, figured it out, it's been spelling it out for a decade straight. That's ego. It's also a fact. That's not arrogance. It's just everybody else needs to catch up. All this other information out there, It's not even secondary. It's not even important. But yeah, again, if you have a wrench, ban trolls. Get rid of the trolls. And again, just this guy in the chat right now, just spamming just stupid messages. Just block. Just cut down on trash commenters. This is a guy who promotes censorship, and it's sad that people in this community are getting taken by this. I would continue to go out and put my neck out there and try to bring people together if I had everybody drop off the Patreon next month. We're still doing New York 9/11. And yeah, I might not be in New York for 9/11 this year, which I feel bad about because I do want to make this an annual tradition. But again, support got decimated this year, you guys. Support got absolutely destroyed.
Excuses.
And the other thing I'm worried about is I have the IRS crawling up my ass right now. And I haven't had this for about 10 years now.
Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
That's what I hate people that are bad people that pretend to be good people.
Boy, if that isn't the pot calling the kettle black.
There's a lot of fraudulent people like that in this world.
Like yourself.
And it's sad that people are trying to make me look like I'm that type of person. I've been doing this every day for a decade. Over the first half of it, never raised a penny, always been consistent, always been on point, and brought something to the world that could actually stop the world. To say that anything I've done is fraudulent is to not understand what a fraud is. I'll tell you what, though, if this per month thing gets up to something like $10,000 a month, I'll hire a couple people. You know, then I can afford to have some employees. I'll hire Jonathan, you know. Right now, there's 10,787 coming in a month. That's more than I need for myself. That's why I'm paying $1,000 a month for a website. That's why I'm saving the rest of the money for a future cause. If this number keeps going up, I don't need to make this much money a month. I'll use it to share the wealth and take this research even further.
That was a lie.
A fraud is a fraud.
You got that right.
And notice the losers who make those videos, they're nameless people, faceless people, probably the same people that I'm talking about right now, using the power of being anonymous online. Ballless losers.
Eat shit, pal.
I'm going to get to Hawaii pretty soon, you guys. It has to be done. I feel bad about not being in New York for 9/11 and LA for Kobe Bryant Day. I'm going to get out to these places too. But like I said, I got to get these short books out. I got to get the revenue coming back in. Here's how much money's coming in. Not enough. I appreciate the dollar. A dollar's huge. If everybody in the stream gave $1, man, I'd be a rich man.
Fuck these losers begging for $1 nonstop.
It's going to make up for, skipping Kobe and New York 9/11. Again, I really do want these things to be annual. New York 9/11. I hope the truth seekers get out there and do it without me. You know, I heard, the Matrix say he's disappointed I'm not coming out for New York 9/11. You lead it this year. You link up with Lincoln Karam. Get out there with Fake Mike. Everybody else who came out. You guys can do it without me. I don't have to be there for 9/11 in New York. I live on the other side of the country. You know, my support dried up this past year. So, again, you're just making excuses. Anyway, I'll muster it together for Hawaii because it's so current.
Oh, I understand. I think I understand what
Finally, somebody
he's
gets
saying he
it.
wants to go on a vacation.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He wants to go somewhere exotic.
Yeah, there's a fucking unemployed scam artist that scams 24/7 online, droning about Gematria and propaganda bullshit fucking garbage. It's a fucking scam artist. It's a fucking cult. Buyer beware.
Yeah, fair words. Fair words. And again, his whole goal is to get people to not support me.
Till next time, truth seeker.